Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to Remains. It is by Solo Q and is in early access right now on Steam. Very, very early access, as you can see, version 0.11. And it's currently 15% off at $5.09 US, normally $6 US. I have played through actually about an hour or so of it. I'm going to start a brand new game so you can see what it looks like, but it's definitely is early. Let's just put it that way. I haven't necessarily seen any bugs per se, but it's the gameplay is it's pretty grindy, and it's pretty there's a lot of quality of life things that would be really lovely if we could get them. But it is a base survival game, as you can probably tell from the main title screen here. When we start a new game, you'll see the story, which is not very much, but basically you're adrift, and you need to survive on the scraps and stuff that remain of the ship that you were once part of. So without further ado, let's do a new game, and we'll create our world. And there you have it. Giant space laser exploded things, and now everything is in ruins. So we start out, and we have this like little piece of home here, which is what we're going to be repairing and stuff. So first things off, you hit escape. It does pause, which is nice. Here's all the keys. There is one important key that is missing here. Well, first of all, the left alt speed stabilization is great, but one very important key that's missing is drop, which is G. The inventory in this game is extremely limited. In fact, you can see down the bottom there are 5 inventory slots. That's it. And that also, when you consider that there's 2 slots that you're going to need, like one for food and one for oxygen. The oxygen's blue, the food is yellow there. You can see how it gets to be pretty ridiculous. So that's number one is, yeah, that's pretty terrible. And you probably do need some more inventory slots, or an early way to get more inventory slots. So first thing I'm going to do, you would think when you hit tab here, you can see your various crafting things. You would think the first thing you would do is craft a pickaxe, but honestly, what I'm going to do is try to craft a chest, but I need scrap metal, plastic, and metal for that. A lot of it, too. It's not just simple as it seems there. I also need lots of scrap metal just for in general. Now that is a food packet. Now, as everything, there's Newtonian physics, so you have to catch up to whatever you want to grab and hit E on it. If you fly too fast and hit something, it'll do damage to you. There is a health bar there, that kind of thing. That's some scrap metal. Now, once you play a couple times, you start to identify what things look like out in space. One of the big quality of life things I have right off the bat is a lot of this stuff doesn't look out in space. It doesn't look like what it looks like in your inventory, and what it looks like in your inventory is what it looks like in the crafting menu. So it kind of makes it really difficult to identify things at first, particularly when it comes to like metal versus electronic parts. Like I believe this is not metal, right? Oh, it is metal. But you can't really tell until you see the one side of it where you see the metal texture, right? And that's the same with the electronic parts. You can't really tell until you really, really examine them. And with the speed at which a lot of these things are going, trying to get a really close-up examination of them is sometimes impossible. That's one thing. The other thing is they got a lot of stuff scattered to the winds. You have these crates here too that have random stuff in it, which is great. But when you have such a severely limited um, inventory, it doesn't really help matters too much. So first things first, I want to get enough for a chest, which means I need metal. I've got enough metal right now. I need some plastic. I have no room for plastic, so I'll have to make room by eating the meat steak there. I need a lot more scrap metal. So, and I've got some rubber right now. We'll need that for the pickaxe, I believe. Let's also take a bit of oxygen. Yeah. That is electronic parts there. I'm looking for, that looks like, so the plastic looks like sort of oil jugs almost like this. So this should be plastic. Yep, okay. And you get a random amount each time. It's like between 1 and whatever. You know, sometimes you get 1, sometimes you get 3 of each thing. You can't really tell what you're going to get until you get it. I need 5 of those. I need a lot of scrap metal. Scrap metal that can be a real pain in the butt because you've got to fly around pretty far and wide. I think that's the one. I think right now the debris is scattered sort of randomly, or maybe the seed when you create your world is determines how the debris is scattered. Maybe I'm not sure. What I would say is I would rather they, at least for the starting area, bring some order to the chaos, like make it so that the things that you need for the very beginning are much closer to your home base that you're supposed to come back to than they are currently. Because right now it gets pretty like the amount, and also the amount of scrap metal and stuff that you need is kind of ridiculous because it just like you end up with you end up having to travel quite the distance eventually just to do basic stuff. Like it's definitely a grind, but it's mostly a grind in that you're just trying to like pick needles out of a giant haystack here. Um, and there's obviously a fun aspect to that, of course, but it would be better if things were a little more obvious, a little bit easier to pick out. Like maybe if I had a scanner or something. Like for instance, this right here that's floating around, that is cable. Um, you don't need it right now, but you find out later on. Later on, you'll need it, but it doesn't look like anything like that in your inventory. It looks completely different. It looks like actual cable in your inventory, not like it looks like there. So things like that, they kind of need to shore up a bit. And the other thing is too, I think the lighting engine is making everything have this sheen on it. So like when things are far away, you can kind of identify them, but as they come closer, if you're not looking at them straight on, they just look white. Everything just gets this white sheen on it, and you can't really tell between a lot of the things. Like for instance, the metal the and the electronic components and stuff. Also, apparently, my oxygen is low. There's no another thing there is it would be nice if the indicators for your oxygen and stuff, like if there was some sort of alert, some kind of audible alert. But again, very early, so I'm not expecting miracles right away. I don't know if there's a stack limit in your inventory to certain things. I just know that collecting them now is a good idea. Another thing I've noticed, particularly a little bit later on, is you'll be tracking something down, like I'll be chasing after something, and it'll just despawn right in front of my face. I don't know. It seems to me like all this debris has some sort of timer on it, where it just after it spawns into the world, it kind of just goes and disappears. That could be an issue unless you're replenishing them at a rate that helps. Like, and then you get these things hanging around that you can't even do anything with these bigger chunks. Um, I need lots of scrap metal, and I can't, for the life of me, think that's scrap metal there. See, this, the scrap metal and the rubber look almost identical until you get up close to them and you see that one's yellow and one isn't. So again, like being able to identify things a little bit better would be nice, or at least maybe doing something similar to how Breath Edge did it, where it was like there were little clusters. A lot of like things would cluster together, that you could kind of know you were in an area where that was mostly scrap metal um, versus oxygen versus whatever. That would be very good. What is that there? Oh, here's some scrap metal. Yeah. How much more do I need? Each 15. Okay. This is to make a chest. Then you place the chest on your home base there, and that's not it. That's wire. Okay. Place the chest on your home base, and then that'll give me some more inventory, at least back at the home base. Oh, damage there from that. The food packet, isn't it? I can't really pick up. I have too much stuff in my inventory right now. There's some crap. Oh, the game is, as you can imagine, really hard right now because it's not exactly balanced. Um, Now 11 over here. More plastic going there. I might as well grab more than what I need. Grab that. Yeah, the food situation's becoming dire, and I just don't have stuff. Also, you're like, as with many survival games that have like food bars and stuff, they all seem to have this problem, at least when they start out, where like your food bar and your oxygen bar goes down way too quickly. Far, far too quickly. Um, but that's kind of par for the course for these games. This is not the only game that ever have that sort of problem. Seems like pretty much all of them do at some point during their development. Slow down here. I have enough for this chest. Stop there. And let's make the chest. Craft it. Oh, I can't hold on to it because it's. So let's drop that. Take that. Now I can put it down here. Grab this rubber again. Go over here and drag the middle up into there and plastic. And I guess, well, I can hold on to the rubber for now. I'll need that. But I do need some food. Then a food packet, I can't really tell. Well, it's a crate. It might have some food in it. Actually, does sound like there's some kind of alert going off. It's just very, very low. Now that I hear it, couldn't tell before, but it does sound like there is an alert going off, like a little beeping sound. Well, that gives a little bit of health back, but not a lot. The other thing is too, looking through the crafting, like eventually you repair your home base there, which is the next thing we're gonna do. We're gonna make a pickaxe, which you need to repair. I need some more scrap metal for that. Um, but then in order to repair, you need even more resources. Um, and then once you repair that, then you have to contribute even more resources to it in order to unlock recipes for things like making an oxygen generator and stuff like that. So that's the you can kind of see, like, I feel like one of the things that they maybe need to work on is being able to get like an oxygen generator or something around your home base much sooner, because your levels go down so fast, or at least a food thing, like a food synthesizer. There is a food synthesizer or something like that there, but being able to get those much sooner would be a very good thing. Um, they're gonna have to tweak that a little bit, I think, personally. Add some plastic there. That is rubber, metal. Here we go. This is the wrap here. How much do I need for this? Need two more. Oh, here we go. Ah, missed. All right, so I got that. So we can make pickaxe. Good. So now go back to our home base. And you'll see what it takes to repair it. Come on back here. See your speed over on the left there and everything else. Try to gauge what you're doing. All right, so then grab this. And once I put that in my hand, you can see I need 5 electronics, 2 metal, and 4 cable. So I'm going to go put this away so I have the room for it. I already have 5 metal, right? I think I only need 4. I need 5 electronics, though, and cables. So see what this box has in it. That's oxygen, okay. Works for me. Could use some food though, but I'm gonna do right now. All right, this might be a nope. That's a. You see that piece down there disappeared? That was a piece that I actually needed probably. Um, box down here. Oh, there's a meat steak. All right, that works. Need some food. That plastic, since I already have a stack of it. That looks like more food there. Oh no, that's not something I can pick up, I don't think. No, not something I can pick up. Okay. This 8. This is a food packet, right? Oh, 2 food packets. All right, we'll take those. I still need some wires and stuff. Oh, that had some wire in it. That's 3 wire there. Don't remember how much wire I needed. I think I need more than that though. I had some scrap metal in it. I needed scrap metal though. In fact, well, I don't need it now. Put it that way. I do need this though, so let's put that away for a minute. Grab this. One there, huh? Need more than that. You can kind of see how super difficult it is right now to just kind of see what you're doing. Uh, oh, that's a thing right there. That too. That might be another one there. Okay, I think I have enough now. Let's go take a look at this. Yes, repair. There we go. I'll put this away again. And now you can see on here, this opens up your ship core, and here's where you start to unlock things. You do a ship engine, you need metal processors and all this stuff to craft it. Thing that was most interesting to me is the items database. This is where you start getting component recipes unlocked. So 15 scrap metal will get you electronic part or electric parts. Down here you see bolts. It gets you energy generators, and this gets you like oxygen generators and all this stuff, trash trap, all that stuff, which is really, really great. Unfortunately, the only way to get bolts that I could see is by getting all the way down to it here on the components recipes, because there's none that I've seen just floating around. And in order to do that, this scrap metal requirement just keeps increasing. Like 15 now, and I think it's 25 for wire, and then like God knows what it'll be for bolt. You know what I mean? So it's kind of steep. It's not really that intuitive right now. This requires the mission stuff requires an access card, and then that unlocks more things. I think last time I found an access card in my last run. I don't know if it's always spawns in the same place or not. Um, but blueprint. So this is blueprints for building this ship here. Plastic and wire. I don't know. I haven't dug into the blueprints yet. But what do we need here? I need a whole lot of scrap metal. And that's, like I said, a little bit difficult to come by because it's not easily distinguishable between scrap metal um, and rubber unless you're looking at it from a weird, awkward angle. You know what? I'm going to grab this anyway since I was having such a problem trying to find those. electronic parts. In here, do something good. Some metal in there. All right, so I have not gotten enough scrap metal, unfortunately. But you can see if I interact with this, you can see that I've put 5 scrap metal in there, and put some wire on there if I wanted to. I get to the wiring recipe stuff. But yeah, we're gonna need to at least get down to this point for bolts, I think, because I can't find them anywhere else in the world. But we're already very low on health and oxygen and everything. Food and stuff not easy to come by, as you might imagine. Things are much further out than you can really get to. And after about 10-15 minutes or so, kind of like staring at a spreadsheet, everything just starts to look identical. So they're gonna have a long road ahead of themselves to try to make the stuff showing up be distinguishable. Make it so that it's not quite so spread out. Like I would prefer to see them do something very similar to what is that? What was it? Raft? I think Raft was the name of the game, where you're stuck on a raft out in the ocean, but as you're stuck on that raft, debris comes washing by, and then you can kind of collect the debris as it comes by, and it's easy to identify. In this game, it's just like you got to go out and get to the debris fields, and they very quickly, for as much resources as there are at the very initial start of the game, a lot of them seem to despawn or move so far out that they become almost unobtainable, and stuff. So it would be nice if they had something more similar to like have like a tide that ebbs and flows with all the debris coming in, because technically all this debris is now in orbit, right? So it should be kind of orbiting around. So it would be interesting if it's be better to have it just kind of you stand here and have it kind of wash over you like it does in Raft or something, at least in the initial game, to try and be able to pick things out and build some stuff and whatnot. Because right now there's a whole lot of just tedium. So I'm hoping that that's something that they can kind of work out and do better with. But yeah, that's all we got so far, my friends, and it's very, very early. Like I said, this is Remains. It is by Solo Q. It's in early access currently on Steam for $5 US at 15% off. Normally $6 US. It's pretty good so far. If you want to get into something that's like super, super early and help sort of drive the vision of it, this would probably be a good time to do it for this one. But I mean, the core loop is pretty enjoyable. It's just it's so wildly unbalanced right now that it kind of undoes its own. It's a little too difficult to get up on your feet and get to self-sufficiency and all that kind of thing, is what I'm kind of going on there. And honestly, after about a half an hour or so, it seems like the game just stops spawning food and all that stuff in, or if it does, it's spawning it in so far away that you can't get to it. So I haven't been able to really last more than a half an hour or so before you just completely run out of food, or oxygen. So that's kind of what I've experienced thus far. But again, very early and all those things. As always, I will leave links down in the description so you can do your own due diligence. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.